Hey guys, Andy back here from Mediocre Hobbies, bringing you the third Kill Team playlist that I've done for this channel. So we have done a full playlist on the other two Kill Teams that came out. We have done 3 videos for each, one on each side of the box set as in the forces, and then one on the specific scenery that comes in the box. And this will be no different. We have our hands on a copy of new Kill Team Nachmund. And yeah, we're getting stuck into making the videos for the channel. The first one we're going to have is the new Eldar Voidscarred unit. Super cool Corsair style unit, very interesting color scheme with the turquoise armor, and I had a blast painting it up. So I hope you guys enjoy the video and you learn a little something from it. Let's get to painting. Okay guys, like I said in the intro, the particular color scheme for these guys is very interesting. So we're going to get started with Akhelian Green. It's a turquoise style contrast paint, and we're going to apply that all over the armor panels. The armor panels themselves are actually quite ornate, quite detailed, and there's like raised lines and edges all over them. So it grabs a contrast really well, it makes it stand out beautifully, and it looks stunning. It gets a little bit more complicated when we get to the layering stage later on, but I think the final result is worth that little bit of extra effort. So Akhelian Green goes over this base coat really fast, really easily, and it looks great. Next, we're going to move over to Blood Angel's Red contrast, and this is to base coat or block in the colors for the cape. And there's also a scarf thing around the waist, and that runs down the front as well. So we got that done with the Blood Angel's Red contrast as well. We also decided to do the top knot. So the top knot on the big top of the helmet was done with the red. So it created this really nice kind of trifecta of red. Gore-Gunta Fur was used to block in all of the leather straps and the holster for the pistol. Just a quick job. Gore-Gunta Fur, absolutely fantastic for base coating leather. Skeleton Horde is used to block in the first part of the gun. So some Eldar have bone colored guns and some have black. These guys decided to be a little bit more complicated and be both. So I went with the brighter color first and gave the rifle a Skeleton Horde all over contrast, and then we went back in with the black Templar contrast afterwards to block in all those little details on that weapon that was supposed to be black. So basically the outer casing is supposed to be bone and all of the inner workings are supposed to be black. Quickly jumped over to Retributor Armor Gold, and this was the base coat, all of the gold details on this miniature, and there's quite a few of them. These models are extremely ornate. I suppose the pirate life has been paying off for these guys. They've been pillaging all across the Imperium. They let some nice riches, which they proudly wear all across their armor. Once that's done, we jump across to an all-over shade. I know the shade I'm going to use is going to scare some of you, but that's Coelia Greenshade, and we're going to apply this to the entire miniature. While that is drying, I'm going to get the miniature based up, and I will be back to you guys in just a moment. Okay guys, while the shade is drying, I thought I'd take this opportunity just to thank you guys again for the continued support for my channel and the 365 project. It means a lot to me. Just keep doing what you guys are doing. Make sure you're watching my videos, dropping likes below. Make sure you hit that bell button if you do like the content that I put out. That way you get notified every time a new video drops. And that really does help the channel when the videos are watched early. If you see real value in what I do and you want to support me or the 365 project a little bit further, there's links to my Patreon below, or you can join the new YouTube membership, which is just a little subscription button down there. So that's enough of all that guys, let's get back to painting. Okay, now it's time to start layering up that armor. I've gone for Sector Green, which is a bright, vibrant kind of turquoisey blue, which should work beautifully for laying up that now washed down armor. This is where you got to take your time. This is by far the most tedious isn't the right word, because tedious seems that it was unenjoyable. It was a lot of fun to paint, but this is the most time-consuming part of the process, is to layering back up that Sector Green across the entire armor. And those lines, those ornate lines that are on the armor surface are what's going to slow it down. That's what I was talking about earlier. They're basically all across every part of the armor panel, and I wasn't 100% sure whether they were supposed to be raised gold detail or part of the blue armor, or in the end I think I struck a nice balance between the two, and I think it turned out pretty nice. So yeah, take your time, leave the shade in all of the recesses, but then layer up just like the leg I did there. That that was me there briefly trying to figure out which part was supposed to go blue next and which part I was supposed to leave the shadow in. As you can see, I'm being quite careful with this stage. Being neat and tidy at this stage will make the difference between a sharp striking looking colour scheme and maybe something that's a little bit sloppy, which doesn't really show off these models in all of their glory. We're going to move now to Mephiston Red, and this is the colour we're going to use to layer back up all of the red details that we washed down with the Coelia Greenshade. So we're going to start with a little bit around that scarf around the waist, scarf, sash I suppose would make the most sense. But yeah, once again, being careful not to hit any of that blue or any of the gold detail we worked on. And then the big beautiful red cape. I know the red cape shown on the box was a little bit more kind of crimson, a little bit more like a darker red. I wanted to be nice and bright and vibrant because when I put these guys in my regular Eldar army, this will be the feature that makes them match in. This and of course the Mars basing style that I've done for the rest of my Eldar so far. So very quickly follow the sharp lines of the cape and leave all of those nice folds nice and dark, just all the raised areas go in with the bright and vibrant red. As you can see, I'm following the actual line of the cape. This will minimize things like brush strokes. And after one or two quick coats, you'll be left with a really nice cape. Next, Zandri Dust. Sorry, at the start of that clip, I was kind of holding it outside the camera angle. That was my fault. But Zandri Dust was used to layer up all of the bone parts on the rifle again, just to bring them up and make them pop. Once again, in the artwork, they were shown as like a more natural, like full-on bone. I thought that was a little bright for this scheme, so I left it with the Zandri Dust, a little bit darker. This is what it looks like here, so I hope you guys like it. Next, we jump on to Leadbelcher, and this is to stipple on and layer up all across all of the gold. So all of the gold gets little dot highlights of Leadbelcher, and also any of the gemstones across the miniature are going to get filled in with Leadbelcher, like you see here, as well as the eye sockets, because we're going to go back in with a nice vibrant contrast in a minute and make the gems look nice and shiny. Across most of my Eldar range, the colour of the gems and eye sockets are blue. That will of course get swallowed up by this particular paint job. So for this one we went for Warp Lightning. They're going to have green gemstones and green eyes. I think this in the end turned out quite nice. It's a little bit subtle, but I think it works. And with those gemstones filled in and the eye sockets painted, that brings this paint job to an end. I hope you guys found. If you like what you see, like I said, don't forget to drop the video a like and ask me any questions you have below in the comments, and I will get back to each and every one of you. Thank you very much for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.